Go. Hello, Oga Seun Adeola. How are you
I'm
doing?
good. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm grateful. I'm grateful that this is happening. I started marketing in 2020. I was doing data analysis before, graduated in statistics, and in 2021 I got my first paying job. And different from me is like a colleague to me in Futa. So when he has been in Treford for long, so when I joined
Um,
marketing, Fear me now, you know
very
him on
well.
Twitter. So I talked to him a lot about what are the people I should follow. And I said, okay, follow Shemadola, follow Pakuma. So I followed two of you. And it's been awesome since then. So you were on the Twitter space one day and you were talking about how marketing is, how you have to grind in your early days of marketing, the things you did when you were telling the stories. And that just sink into my brain like, oh, all of these things that my CEOs are saying, oh, do this, make this. I was in an ed tech then, how to make sales calls, the sales call, and they were saying you have to make 30 calls in a day. So I was seeing those things, I was suffering, like, why are these people suffering? Oh, it's just marketing now, it should not be this hard. So your explanation on how the grind was then changed my mindset. I don't know if you want to talk about the early days of marketing. How was the grind then?
ah, yeah. So early days. I didn't study anything that has to do with marketing in school. I no, but I had some friends that were studying marketing. So when I go to their room in the hostel, I just pick up their books. So I really enjoyed reading it. I read it for fun. So I was reading their books, and then I'll get into arguments with them. I remember one day they abused me so much that how can I be arguing with marketing students when I'm not. But after I decided that this is what I want to do. So my first job, like the first job I had in my life, first official job, was to sell tickets to a sales training program. Do you understand? And I didn't know. I just thought if you go about telling people, about it, they'll buy. And
Like,
morning to evening, I trekked the whole of Ikeja, and I didn't sell anything. Do you understand? Some people would tell me, get out of this place. Some people even pour water. They will chase you with broom. It was crazy. And that thing it affects you. Like you feel useless. Like, I'm working so hard, no results. I'm working, beast mode, nothing. Not, in fact, the more you work, it's like the more you push, the more the clients run away from you. So it was
yes.
crazy. And then, what next? So I had an encounter that made me quit that job. I entered a woman's shop, and the man was like, she felt so much compassion. She gave me mods, gave me handkerchief, told me to sit down, turned on the fan and everything. I said, why are you doing this? You are young. I have a son like you. So I went back and I sent my email that I resigned. And I didn't sell nothing. So I had to think about it, that why am I not selling? There are people that are selling. What are they doing? I started to seek knowledge. So I would always say that the first stage of sales of marketing is first your knowledge base. It's not your passion. Your passion is good, but your knowledge base is first. It's not your passion. Your knowledge base first, because knowledge is power. And why I would say that is that because there is a science. You have to learn the science of marketing first, of sales, of marketing.
It's science
Science
marketing.
before you now learn the art. So most people are concerned with the art, the finesse, everything, the packaging,
The
yeah,
graphic.
the graphics, the
Mm,
design,
yes.
the events, all those things. But the fundamentals, I'm talking about psychology, consumer behavior, behavioral psychology. I'm talking about how the mind works. Those little things. People call it aspire to perspire, but I consume those things a lot. And I can create the reaction in a person that I want, because I understand how the mind works, right? So then after that, I became an intern in an agency. I decided to go and learn it the proper way and not just roam around town.
around the street.
Yeah.
You know that your marketing that you just say you did. That was the marketing I know
That
then.
was
You know, that
what
you
I
start
thought
selling
marketing
everything.
was. Do you understand? So I went to an agency. The agency was into um, above the line marketing, TV, radio, print, and out of home. So I went there. I was an intern. I started as a copywriter. I would write. And then I started getting into strategy sessions and all of that. And I realized that whoa, there is a whole completely different world out here. Like whatever I thought I was doing, I didn't know. Now I was involved in advertising now. I'm already into advertising, I'm already but
Mm.
so then a friend of mine told me something that there's this thing called digital marketing, that everybody's doing it now. Or like everybody's doing it in like Europe.
This what year? What
This
year is
was
this?
2011 or 2012. Yes, 2012. That this thing called digital marketing is going to be the next big thing. I said, explain it to me. He was explaining to me. I could not, I could not fathom. I'm like, so how will you know that this thing is, how would they see it? Then we had like this early days of programmatic ads. So I'm like, so, but I cannot see it now. How do I know that?
They
So
see
I
it.
started learning. He sent me some materials. I read about it. Then South Africa was our case study. We used to study a lot of campaigns, agencies in South Africa, learning and everything. So we would go to pitch to clients. I remember I went to Indomie. I will never forget. Went to Indomie, and the first slide is what is digital marketing. That's what we used to do. We will have to define digital marketing, and people will be like, what do you mean? Do you understand? So at the end of the day, it was a lot of struggle. People were like, no, I want to see my billboard. 25,000 people pass this road every
Mhm.
day. I can track it. For radio, I have amps. I can track it. How do I track this? Okay, we have Google Analytics. We'll do this, we'll do this. They did not understand. So eventually, we shall pushing. Then I joined another agency that we landed the accounts Techno. Techno was new in Africa then, Techno Mobile. And from there we started to do things, Facebook. We used to have something called the Facebook login takeover, where on the on the landing page to sign in, to log in, you put your brand there. That was like the most premium ad space you could get then. So we started doing those things, and the data and analytics side was not very robust, if I'm honest with you. It was just basic. But
Yes.
over time, it got
Showing.
better. And
This thing's got better. And I'm looking at the way this thing has changed from that time to now. A lot has changed in that space. And you witnessed this thing happen. Like you were witnessing it happen over and over. You were looking at it. How were you able to predict trends and learn more? For example, I used to do I used to just be a Facebook ad person for e-commerce. Then I started doing SEO. Then I started doing email marketing. Then I started designing Shopify stores for people because I predict that as time goes on, you have to be able to offer more to clients than just Facebook ads for you to be able to retain them. So I know it will be same for you then too. When in the early days, well, how were you able to predict these trends? Like this will be the next thing. This will be the next thing. Let me go learn it. This will be the next thing. Let me go learn it.
well, so it mostly comes from the shortcomings of what you are doing. So right now, we are doing, as at then, we're doing stuff, and we could not really justify it based on analytics and data side, right? So obviously, the trends will go in the direction of the gaps. That's kind of how we look at it. So then we'll write these companies in Europe, in America, in South Africa that, oh, this is what we are doing, but we need we need more visibility on this. These are the data points that they're asking us for. I remember a platform called Eskimi then. Eskimi. They had the early day of
Excuse me.
DSP. And we used to write with them. So the founder of Eskimi came to Nigeria, met with us, a couple of young digital marketers. We sat down and he was asking us, what do people want to see? So we started saying all the things we wanted to see, and they built a dashboard and shared it with us. So that level of interaction and collaboration between the the tech owners and the marketing side. It was very strong. We could literally write to Facebook and say that I remember we used to complain about Instagram analytics that it was terrible. We used to write to them and they would respond. So I would say that while we identify the gaps, we're also reaching out to the platforms to solve those problems for us. Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised there. You write to the founders, to the people. The founder of Eskimi came to Nigeria to talk to you
Yes, yes,
guys.
yes, he came. I think his name was Vitas Polsky or something. I can't really remember. But he came. We met at Wheat Baker Hotel in Ikoyi. So many digital marketing players came there. Young guys with laptop bag. And he was just asking questions then. I think asking is from maybe Estonia or so. I can't remember. But they came. They even set up an office here. Then, yeah.
They find the Nigerian, is it that they find the Nigerian market um, big enough for them to come to, or it was because you guys here always are always disturbing them or something like that?
So then there was a lot of hype around Africa, right? And then when you talk about Africa, talk about sub-Saharan Africa, you talk about Nigeria. Yeah, Africa had that attraction from the rest of the world. People were looking for the next frontier, the next market, and and Nigeria was in its boom stage. This is like 2012, 2013, 2014. The economy of Nigeria was doing very well. Nigeria was like the number one economy in Africa and all of that. So, everybody was interested. So, um, so multinationals were investing more in Nigeria from a marketing standpoint, right? Guys like Coca-Cola, guys like electronics guys, car brands, so many people were investing in the Nigerian market as the emerging market for them. So of course, if that's happening, the advertisers are also wondering like, okay, how can we get a slice of the pie? But they didn't really know, they didn't have those connections here. So, when we now reach out to them, telling them that, oh, we have questions about this, or how can we tailor this solution to our needs? You know, they are ready. They're like, okay, can you represent us? Can you do this? Can you do that? So that's kind of how it all started.
Wow, interesting. You've seen traditional marketing and you've seen digital marketing, and I think one of the things you are combining as Shara is both. Friend of me, when we are discussing Shara, I said, why is she not doing anything online about this thing? And I said, well, any day I meet you, I'll first ask you, like, Egbon, why you leave digital marketing for this Shara thing and just go traditional?
Okay.
So is it because traditional is I think it's a very, if you're not a solid person that I look up to, I would say you are making a mistake. I would say it's a mistake. So why?
Okay. So yeah, I understand. I mean, people have told me that. I even had some people attack me for it. Like, what are you doing? Do you understand? Like, are you crazy? You know. I've also had some people tell me, "Oh, you don't know what you are doing. You are a fake." Do you get like maybe I? But
No.
I know exactly what I'm doing, and my reason is very simple. What's the kind of products we brought with Shara into the market was a very unusual product. It was not structured in the way traditional finance is structured. So we did not have a market for it. That's the truth. So the first thing we needed to do was create product market fit first, right? And the only way to create product market fit is by putting product out there and getting people to use it. Now the second was that the product was designed for people who are not digital natives. Do you understand? So they're not like you and I. We have cross-platform, we have the laptop, we have the phone, we have tab. You know, we switch platforms from time to time. They're not like us, right? These are people who fall for scams like click this link to win. You understand? So because we targeted informal trade, right? We started from down market and we started going up market. So we needed to find the fits for the product. And in doing that, we did so many iterations to the product. So now looking back, if we had gone loud in the first iteration of the product, it would have been loud that, oh, this is a bad product because the product had its own issues. Do you understand? So you don't want to go loud on something that has not, that there's no fit with the market. Do you understand? So we first had to attain fit. Then second is that I wanted to do something different. Like I want to do it in a way that if my marketing endeavors cannot justify a positive ROI, I shouldn't be doing it. So, and that's something that many years ago, my clients will ask me, or my brands, they say, you spent 60 million on marketing this quarter. How much did we make from it? I know sometimes it was hard to justify that, you know, it's not one plus one. Because I spent 60 million now, does not mean I'm getting 100 million now, right? There are some sunk costs for marketing that will begin to, it will begin to add up in the next, in the coming months. So there is something called a unit economic model, which means that for every dollar I spend or every naira I spend, how much do I make back? So decided to work solely on that model to design an operating model that says this is how much I have as my budget and this is how much I need to make back and I need to be in a positive book balance. So it goes beyond
Yes.
marketing now. It now goes to like running a business because now
A business.
you're not just selling, you're not just projecting a brand. You are generating cash flow and you're basically managing the entire commercial arm of things. And that's where I think marketing should be. It shouldn't be a cost center. Now, yes, you should just be a cost center like, oh, I'm deploying this, I'm sending my reports, my graphics are nice. Yeah, my campaign is creative.
Not just impression and
Exactly.
clicks.
It's not just vanity metrics anymore. It's not even enough to say I'm generating leads. So I've provided the leads to the sales team or to the distributors. Then it's up to them. I've provided the leads to the landing page. All of that stuff. No, it's not enough. So that bots and AI will not replace you. Hmm? Yes, because AI can do that. AI can optimize your campaigns. You maybe might not be able to do so well, but in a few years, it will be able to do that very well.
Get there.
Yeah. But there's something AI cannot do like you. AI does not really understand nuance, and AI also cannot apply itself to the degree that you can. So, as a marketing
To the context on ground. I said AI cannot apply itself to the context
no,
on
no.
ground.
So, as a marketing person, you do yourself a great good if you move from um, running fancy campaigns or creative campaigns. Oh, my UI is fantastic. My this is it's aesthetics is nice. People are talking about, oh my god, this is so creative, this is so popular. But the people behind the scenes, they know the truth.
Yes. Just like I was reading recently, and people were saying OP does not have, they don't like the design of OP. And I was just racking my like, why this guy so, why are you so concerned about the aesthetic of OP? This thing works. Why? Why are you so concerned? I and friend of me, we collaborated on a particular e-commerce. And the client is always concerned about how the aesthetic of the email compared to the numbers that the email is generating. So yeah, there's always bottleneck around aesthetic and numbers. And most of the time, when you are focused on numbers, you tend to forget aesthetic at times. How do you balance this for a client that is focused on aesthetic and still wants to drive
Yeah.
numbers?
So I always use Nairaland as an example. Shewa's Nairaland. That site looks the same way it has been since it was created. They make some changes to it, but they are not changes that the normal eye can notice. They kept it very simple. And if you look at platforms that do very well in our part of the world, they are very simple looking. It's not by being pretty. They are functional, they are efficient, right? So my initial conversation to my clients or my brand would be, yeah, I know it has to look nice enough, right? But it doesn't have to look so nice. I don't really need it to be so pretty. I need it to work. Now, the degree of niceness I'm going to need is going to be something that resonates with the user's mind. So maybe colors, maybe shapes, maybe alignments, depending on how it works for the consumer psychology. So my design has to be neuroscientifically aligned. Do you understand? I'll give you an example. Have you noticed that most fast food, their colors are like yellow, orange, or red?
Yes, yes. From Glovo to Chowdeck to
They
all of
use
them.
bright colors. Bright. Because bright colors, there is a correlation. There are papers on this thing that you can read. There's a correlation between colors and behavior in consumers when it comes to food. If you look at consulting companies, the PwC, the KPMG, have you noticed there is this particular color they go for? Blue.
Yes, McKinsey in blue.
There is a pattern. There is a reason. It's not just because it's pretty. So if we can justify why it has to look like that from a scientific standpoint, I'll do it. Do you understand? So I need to make a case to my clients or to my employer or to my partner that I'm not just doing this thing because it's fine. I'm doing it because it works. And that's why I love the OP app so much. I've been using it for so long. They don't make changes to the app unless it elevates the user experience.
You there?
Yes,
I can't hear you anymore. Okay, I can hear you now. Are you
yes, I
there?
can. I'm there.
Yes, I can. So I stopped hearing you out. You're not doing it because it's fine.
Okay, I'm not doing it because it's fine. I'm doing it because it works. Do you understand? So as long as it works and I can justify that it works, maybe it needs to look finer. Do you understand? OPay added a new feature that I feel elevates the quality of my experience. Normally, when I put in number, maybe I want to send 15,000. I've accidentally sent 150,000 before because I accidentally added a zero. So they created a feature that says 1 5. It will write thousands. If you put another zero, it will write tens of thousands. If you put another zero, it will write hundred of thousands. If you put another zero, it will write million. As simple as that feature is, it works. That's the kind of design I resonate with. Do you understand? Because now it eliminates mistakes. So those are the type of arguments I make with my clients. I'm not saying, oh, it doesn't have to be fun. I'm justifying it with proof of what is working in our market.
That is why you say that marketing is science before art.
Thank you very much. Science first.
Wow, interesting. And there's a science that backs each and every one of these things.
Yes, yes, it's there. In fact, if you spend some time with, you can just thank God for ChatGPT now. You can just say, explain to me or do an in-depth assessment or in-depth analysis of neuroscience, psychology, and marketing, and let it just bring out stuff for you. You'd There's a way the brain works. Some people have studied how it works, and they are using that to align their marketing message. Right? There was a time. There was a time call to action used to be people used to write sentence as call to action. Then at some point it became click here, buy now, sign up, register. Do you understand? Science got us there because some people began to understand like why is it that people are clicking this one and why are they not clicking this one? And I'm big on experimentation. If I have an argument with my clients, I'm like, okay, let's do an A/B test very quickly. You want it to look like this, I want it to look like this. Let's do. Then we do and see the one that is effective.
Let's talk about let's talk about books. because we are coming from this neuroscience of a thing. With your experience in marketing, we'll still talk about that type of books, but let's limit it to marketing books. Do you read books? Is it books that get you so good in marketing? Is it podcasting? Is it by reading articles? What is it exactly? What can you point out to be your go-to for knowledge?
Okay. So that for marketing books, I don't think I've read up to five marketing books in my life. So it's not books. For me, it's
Interesting.
not books. I read more of articles. I read case studies, right? I read case studies. So if I see, for instance, if I love the way a brand does their marketing, maybe they say right now they say Zenith Bank recorded 1 trillion naira in. I've been asking questions. I want to know how, what did they do to achieve that? Which of their value chains brought it? Because I mean, as is any bank user, I don't use my account as much anymore because it's not reliable. So where are they getting the money from? What is the driver of that value for them? I'm interested, and I know I'll find it. I've not found it yet, but I'll find it. So I ask questions. I'm talking to people. I'm asking questions. When they release their end of year reports, I'm going to read it. I download it. I read it. So mostly you find me reading a lot of PDF articles. Um, I also watch in the University of YouTube. I watch a lot of videos. YouTube videos, 5 minutes, 7 minutes. I can do that while brushing my teeth or while just doing something. Do you understand? So I do a lot of passive learning on YouTube. And anything I don't understand, I just need to watch one or two YouTube videos. Some content person around the world has done something on it. Yes.
Something on it.
So every day, minimum, I have a policy that I must learn something every day, something new every day. And YouTube makes it so easy for me. So easy. Because once you are done watching, it plays you another one.
Yes.
Then there are also some, on Spotify too. You can literally just go in there and type marketing. And then you see
Yeah.
so many podcasts.
It's in.
I'm not really,
Do you
yeah.
think but do you think it's a mindset thing? Because for example, you have to think you don't know for you to want to learn. Do you think sometimes it's a mindset or mentality kind of thing to engage in learning?
We all don't know now. That Yeah, so maybe it's yeah. I'll say it's a mindset. We all don't know. We know for now. Do you understand? We know for now because what I think I know now, it might stop being relevant by 5 p.m. Something new start comes up. So I can't say, oh, I know it. I must I must constantly challenge what I know. Do you understand? Um, I'll give an example. There's there's a part of our user journey where even though we send like a notification, there's an automatic notification. I always make sure we send another SMS to the user, right? And my assumption was that's a reminder, right? It makes sense. If you remind them, they'll take action, right? So this year, I decided not to do it for the first 3 months, January to March. And then I brought out the data and I assessed the impact. And I can assure you that there was no significant impact for sending an additional message. Even though the knowledge is that you need to prompt the user, but there was no impact. So why are we spending this amount of money prompting them when the difference is very marginal? So what you think you know, if you are not constantly testing it and trying to, sense check what you know, you will become obsolete very fast. So yeah.
This thing that you said about marketing being concerned about revenue, being concerned about the downline, about the numbers. Will people not say you are trying to turn marketing people to salespeople?
Okay. There's a meme that I saw that says, "Swear you don't know what you are doing here." Do you understand? What are we doing here? Let's start from there. Why are we here, Mr. Marketer, Mrs. Marketer? Why are we doing marketing? I need you to answer me. Why do we do marketing?
The definition is to bring awareness, to let people know about the product
Why?
so that they can buy the product.
Then what happens after they buy?
Revenue comes in.
Do you see now? We are here because of revenue. Everything that you talk about, there are steps towards revenue, awareness, brand affinity, this, that. The bottom line is revenue generation. So if your marketing is not leading to that, I don't think you are doing marketing. That's me. So now, if you want to dictate the terms of your transaction, if you want to come and place any price on yourself and people will pay, you must be able to show a track record that by the involvement of my own marketing, you will make a ton of money. Is there any business person on earth that will hear, I'll help you make 100 million this quarter if we do this and this and this? And they've seen that you've done it before. Will they say no to you? Don't they want 100 million?
You want 100
So
million.
you are more valuable. I hear people saying, oh no, I don't want to concern myself with that. I want to just manage a brand, generate leads, and then leave it to the sales guys. Mm.
To sales.
You are more valuable when you are end to end, when you are a 360-degree marketer. I can tell you this for sure. You begin to dictate the terms of your engagement. You understand?
In terms of your pay, in terms of the contract and everything start
Because
going up.
you are coming to the table not as just a marketer, you are coming as a commercial brain. I don't refer to myself as a marketer anymore. I'm sure you've not seen me.
Or salesperson. You're not a marketing person, you're not a salesperson. You're coming in
I'm
to
here to
grow
grow
your
your
company.
business. I can use marketing to do it. I can use sales. I can use a combination of both. But
If it needs for me to use PR, let
I
me
will
use it.
use
If SEO
anything
is involved, I will do
is
it.
if it's SEO I need to do, I will do. If it's uh email, if it's programmatic ads, if it's whatever, I will do what I need to do to make you money. So my value proposition to you as a marketer is that I'll keep your cost low and I'll keep your yield high. So low is relative. If your yield is 1 trillion, spending 150 billion is low. Do you understand? So I will make sure that I can I am getting you 4 times what I'm spending minimum.
Give you the best
Yeah.
value of your money. That means you're telling people that if a marketer, for example, as a marketer, and if you're comparing a marketing person to a football player, you are saying become a boss to boss person.
Yes. Become a box to box. You are here, you are defending. Next thing you are crashing the opposition box. Yes. When you look at the let's look at football. Thank you, you said football. When you look at the players who are most valuable on the pitch, what do they offer?
They can defend, they can attack, they can score
Yeah, that's
goals,
what they do. But what do they offer? What do they offer you?
goals.
They
I
win
think
you
that's
games.
it.
They win you games.
Yes,
Either maybe the team is down, they pull magic out of somewhere. I'll use Manchester United as an example. The team is performing so poorly. But Bruno Fernandes, he just needs to play one long shot. He will bring out magic from nowhere. Mohamed Salah, Liverpool, they are not that great right now. But Salah's moment of magic is always there. He will score, he will assist. That's it.
interesting. Interesting. I believe so. I believe in what you said because I believe that is what I've grown to become in the e-commerce space. That's what I've grown to become. I started with email, from email to art, then SEO, then Google. Now I design Shopify website myself. And I look back and be like, okay, if I go into an e-commerce, a retail store, for example, now, if I meet you online and be like, oh, what you are doing is good. This is what I can do for you. And I started telling them from, okay, I can design the Shopify. I know what to do to make a Shopify grow. I can do the ads for you. I can do this. I can do that. And they become like, wow. So all of these things from you alone. And I think it's very important because I've always agreed that as a marketing person, whatever you call yourself, the more value you can give to the client, the more value you can demand from the client.
Yeah.
That is just it.
If you can
That is just
guarantee
it.
a client that they're going to make money, this conversation is people are afraid to have it. I cannot promise now. Then your marketing has not matured because you should be able to predict. You should be able to predict.
You should be able to be bold
Yes,
enough to make those
because
claims.
I'm not just here to get you 1 million impressions and 500 retweets and this an engagement rate of 25.1% and all of that. No, no, no. I'm here to get you efficient output. So I might not give you 1 million impressions, but 500 people will buy. Somebody else can give you 1 million impressions and only four people will buy. So me myself, I don't believe that I need to be the most popular brand. I don't believe that I need to be the most
With what you are doing at Shara, everybody knows that you are focused on
focused on
revenue.
revenue.
Let's
And I'm
get the
looking at the
number going.
numbers. The numbers are good. Some of these more popular companies maybe play in the same space with us. I was telling a friend of mine that every time they release fintech players for the year, you will never see Shara in it. And the person was like, person even forwarded to me, why are you people not in it? I said, well, we are busy doing the work. Do you understand? We're not doing the PR now. It's not yet time. When the time comes, somewhat like Money Point has been existing as Timapt for so many years. But all of a sudden, people say, this Money Point people came out of nowhere. No, they didn't come out of nowhere. They have been building since before now. So now they're out there. Now they can do the PR. What they are putting out there is worthy of the PR. Do you understand?
I mean, I know you are saying one of the things I've gained from this podcast is the unconventional truth that if you're a social media manager, you should not remain a social media manager.
Of course.
You should
Yeah,
not.
I've
You
been a
should
social
not.
media
You should
manager
gather
too
those skills.
now. My early days. Don't I will reply the comments, I'll reply the post, I'll do all of that. I'll schedule the post and that. I'll work with the designer. Okay, let's do this. No, 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 no. This is not the correct font. Align it this, centralize, talk about typography, all those things. But I need to move from there so that other people can grow into that. Do you understand? Imagine I'm sitting down, I'm a social media manager with 14 years of experience. No, now we have to grow. And you start as a specialist, then you generalize, then you might then
Mm.
specialize again. But people should not be afraid to generalize
Yes.
after some time. After your first 2 years,
Yeah.
breakouts.
Go broad. Yeah. Correct. So let's. Are
Yeah,
with
and
me,
I can
right?
hear you.
So let's talk about men. Ah, I only see your tweets about men not getting it and all. What will you define? What's your own definition of masculinity? Let me start from there.
Who is a man? Is that a question?
Yeah. No. What's your own definition of
Masculinity.
masculinity?
Well, I would say it's how a man, a biological male. Do you understand? How a biological male aligns with the, will I say, the virtues of manliness, right? One of the virtues of manliness is courage, bold. Do you understand? One of the virtues of manliness is success. You're successful. If you notice, I did not say rich, I said successful. You're successful at something, you are bold. You have a high moral ground or your character. Do you understand? People know you are trustworthy, you are sincere. Do you understand? At anything you do it with excellence. For me, I would say that that is the hallmark of masculinity. So if you decide to play sports, you are doing it very well. You're not the worst player in sports. Whatever it is you set your hands to do, you put yourself to it. That's how I see it.
What mistake are you seeing in young men these days? What do you think they are doing wrong?
Yeah, young men argue too much. Um, they argue too much. I mean, for people who have barely experienced nothing, have a lot of opinions, right? I've I've engaged people like that online before. Maybe I say something, they come, they argue. No, is this is, and I'm like, okay, this is a part I've walked this path before. I've also walked people through this path after. Do you understand? Don't you think that you should just listen? Okay, maybe what I'm saying is rubbish, but hear me out first. So men have a lot of, for people who know nothing, they are loud. So that's also linked to the reason why a lot of people cannot learn. They are not humble enough in their hearts to learn from those that have gone ahead. But we stood on the shoulders of those that had gone before us. Like this, oh, this person, I respect this person. I'm asking them questions. I'm emulating them. I'm watching them. Some of them I say, "Oh, I don't have time to mentor you." I had somebody I approached for mentorship many years ago. He said, "Oh, I'm too busy. I don't have that time. But what I'll do is I'll give you the opportunity to watch me." I say, "Wow, that's enough for me." So you can just send me something and say, "Read." You can just tell me something and say, "What's wrong with this?" Do you understand? And I have to think. I'll think before I talk. Or you can say, "Oh, I'm going for this event. I'll be there. You are free to come." And I'll go. You won't even talk to me, but I'll just be there watching him. So I think that's the greatest undoing of men now. The second one is impatience. Young men want to be at the top today. You want to start now. You finish your school. You want to blow now. There is a process for things. Before you start earning 1 million, you still earn 100,000. You still earn 50,000. You still earn 10K. But you want to start now. You want to start charging 1 million. No, you have to grow. I say impatient.
I feel that. I feel that impatient thing. I was there. I was there when the days of 50,000, the days of 100,000. Yes, but I think the impatience thing should push you to learn, not to not to be greedy per se. I was impatient. Yes, I will agree I was impatient then. But one of the things I always tell myself is that I'm not good enough. That's just the only thing I tell myself. I believe there are people, whatever I'm asking you to pay me, there are people that they pay that. If it is 300, if it is $1,000, if it is 1 million, there are people collecting that. So my question is, who are those people? What are they doing? What do they know that I don't know by now? And it takes me back to, like you said, University of YouTube, Coursera and Co. and start learning. Why do you think young men are not humble enough to learn? Everybody I read about, every great, Julius Caesar, Marcus Aurelius, all of these guys, Alexander the Great, even the Bible, we saw how we saw the we saw how apprenticeship works, how mentorship works. We saw it plainly. We saw how apprenticeship work in the Igbo business world. We saw how you go to the shop, you watch your boss with an eye of the eagle, you watch closely. So we've seen all of these things. Why do you think young men are not humble enough to go through that process? Because that process is long. I picked you out back home as my mentor in marketing, and I've been watching. I will read you guys LinkedIn. I will read when you publish your work in Nairametrics. I went to read it. I watch. Even if I don't, I come to you guys for question once in a while, not every time. Watch. Why do you think young men are not humble enough to watch? I pick some people today as my e-commerce mentor. Lo and behold, they will be gone in like 2 months.
Because it's hard work. Consistency is not easy because you have to show up even when you feel
Mm.
like sleeping, feel like eating, you feel like doing nothing. You have to show up. And most people cannot show up consistently. Last year, when I started like my mentorship class for a group of people,
Yes.
a lot of people applied. Over 300 and something people applied.
So I saw the day.
I
I
couldn't
saw it.
just I said, give me a reason why I should pick you. I read everybody's own. I picked some people. By the end of the first 1 month, half of the people I picked had stopped coming. They were not consistent. But there were some guys who stayed. They stayed. And I assure you that by the end of 2024, people that have never closed deals in their life were closing deals because the knowledge gap had been breached. They are, I don't need
Mm.
to. From sometimes some of them write at Seun Adeola. I don't have to tell you.
Yes. I see that.
I've exposed you to what you don't know, and that thing takes time and learning because you are not just going to be learning marketing. Most times, some people are good at marketing, they are bad at life. You are going to learn marketing, you are going to learn life. Uh, you're going to learn how to negotiate. You're going to learn how to, you know, how to build relationship with people. You're going to because it's not the best people are not the people that pay the most. The people that pay the most are not the best. Do you understand? Vincent Company now I was reading that he earns 700,000 euros per month managing Bayern Munich. This is someone that was managing Burnley before now. And there are many coaches better than him that earn less. So why is he paid that much? It's not just the knowledge.
I was going to buy am.
I see a lot of people, there's a time people were saying, oh, he's building a personal brand that is working. Everybody was building personal brand. The simple truth is what can you point at as your case studies, as your success stories, as your record, your track record? Do you understand? I can easily tell you, oh, I did this, I did this, I did this. Do you understand? This is what I do. Now, for you to build a track record, you might have to take sometimes, in some cases, you might have to do some things not for the money, but for the record itself that I worked with this brand. They might not pay you well as you would like, but you need to make your mark on this brand. So having that wisdom, I've had people approach me, oh, I have these two offers, I have this offer from this company, this one is more than this one. I say, take this lesser one. They say, but this money is big. I say, yes. But your impact here will give you more than this very soon. So chase your impact here. So without a track record, your knowledge is just knowledge, right? Without a track record, your personal brand and packaging is just vibes.
It's not.
You need,
You need to get your hands in something.
yes, if you need to do it for free. I remember one time I said, oh, young people, you don't have a job, go and work for free. They said, oh my God, what are you talking about? I said, okay.
How will you buy data?
Okay, now that you're not working for free, how are you buying the data? How are you eating? But working for free in a high value environment sets you on the path to success. You can't find anything. You've tried your best, you've applied, nothing is forthcoming. I did it. I said I introduced myself to an agency. I said I know people are not hiring, but let me work for free. Anything you need me to do, I will do.
That's how you got yourself into the
Yes,
agency.
they're not hiring. So the first early days, they will send me to go and buy them food with cooler. I'll go and buy. When I buy finish, I'll sit down. I'll sit down beside the person's computer like this. I didn't have anything I was doing. I'm like, this thing, why don't you change this word to interest? Why don't you change this word to look? You look at me. Ah, how do you know? Are you a writer? Yes, 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 yes. I write. So before you know it, they start telling each other, oh, this boy, he knows how to write. Oh, they say, ah, I didn't know what copywriting was. They're like, okay, okay, okay. Come and join the copywriters. Start writing. So it's in making yourself available that that value will come. It's better than sitting down at home.
I'm doing nothing. My God, it's been awesome discussing with you. I've learned a lot talking to you like like this. Well, I would like us to talk about something relationship in particular because I believe yeah, you touched on it recently. Like I said some people are better at their work, they are bad at life. Our life trickle down to our work, regardless of how men are making a lot of mistake in relationship wise. I made that mistake too before I got married and all because I understood it from a very crazy perspective. It was wrong. I understood that. For example, I had a breakup with somebody and I was just blaming her that, oh, why did she do? Everybody running yourself a lot of blame and say, she broke up with me, she did me bad. No. Until I started blaming myself and say, I am not somebody she would like to father, to be the father to her kids. She's not seeing me that way. That is why she would discard you. She's brutal. What do you think is the right approach? I know there's no universal correct answer, but what do you think are the things that you should not do? There's universal wrong way. The way there's no universal right way, but there are some that are concrete wrong, that are wrong that men should not be looking at. What are those mistakes? I see your tweet online most times. Can you talk about them?
Okay. So, like I said, you can win at your work and fail at life. I've been there
Yes.
where when it comes to my work, I'm so good, but when it comes to, maybe relationship, I'm
Mm.
terrible. I don't, you know.
Yes.
So, I mean, I won't say that I'm the best person to give anybody advice on this, but I surely can tell you what not to do. I can tell you. First is that
Yes.
in the stage of your locking in, where you are locking in, that's thing called locked in. Don't be in a relationship as a man. Me, I had 4 years of locking in. I want to lock in for you see, by the time I come out after these 4 years, I have blown. Do you understand? Don't be
four
don't be in a
years.
relationship because you need to prioritize one thing, and that is your work. But you cannot prioritize your work and be in a relationship. You have to prioritize your partner. You have to give her time. You have to give her attention. You have to, press one or two things. You have to be there. Remember, the peak of masculinity is being responsible. You have to be responsible. You have to step up. But now you are there. You are locked in, but you are still distracted. So in your locking in era, you have to focus. That's number one. Number two that you should not do is don't deceive people. Don't deceive women. If you know that relationship is what you want, make it clear. If you know that let's just be having a good time is what you want, make
Yes.
it clear. Don't package. I'm telling you mistakes that me have made. Don't package. Don't say let me use. Let me package it. It will not end well. It's not end well. You might package it and maybe you are smart. You decide to play this game, as if it's a relationship, but you are there for something else. It's not end well. So be very direct. And trust me, you'll be surprised that even if you say you are not ready for a relationship, you'll be surprised that there are people who are like cool with it. They're cool with it.
Are open to it.
You don't have to be dishonest because of what you eat. You know, you become dishonest. I would say that the third one is you need to love yourself. You cannot love somebody if you don't love yourself. There's a page I follow. The guy's name is MKO on Instagram of Salamba.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he says it,
The Dodo
he says it
Yoga.
in a very funny way. I'm always laughing when I watch. But he's making a valid point. He will say it that ẹ̀yin dodojo, spend money on yourself, wear good clothes, eat good food, care for your skin, go shopping, invest. Don't center yourself around another human being. Do you understand? Many men are heartbroken today because they over invested in somebody else at their own detriment. Do you understand?
At our own
Their own
detriment.
detriment. I didn't say
Yeah.
don't care for your partner house. No, I'm not saying that. I didn't say don't give to your partner. No. You have to as a matter of fact, as a masculine man, you have to be responsible. You have to do things with excellence, right? If you are gifting your partner, you give her good gifts according to your pocket. Don't go and take loan to buy gifts. Do you understand?
Hmm.
There's a guy that they said the
Yeah.
guy got 450,000 and he gave 250. I mean, how much to somebody? So
200.
he gave
200K.
40% of the amount to somebody. It's not that you're not going to make it that way. You understand? You're not going to make it that way. In future, you will give even 2 million to your wife, to your partner. You give her 2 million and you have the confidence to do it. Do you understand? But at your level, always do it
At your locking
at your
era.
level. There's 100,000 in your account. You cannot afford to be going on dates to the five-star restaurant on your salary of 150K at your level. Don't
Don't try
don't
to impress.
let me tell you what will happen. You will stress yourself to impress. 150K salary. By the time you move, if you are paying tithes, you move your tithes, you move your transport, you move this, you move that, you send some money home to your family, black tax. The little that is left, you blow it on a date. You take Uber there, and the lady will still look at you that is agidi you are doing, you are struggling, like, what have you done for me? Do you understand? Meanwhile, you've done the whole world because that's the last card in your pocket. But she'll say, what have you done for me? There are guys that have done this and that. She'll mention guys that have done, they've dashed out your annual salary. So you have to stay at your level. If anybody does not appreciate you at your level, let them go. Let them go. Guys will complain all the time. Women, they are this, they are that. Who told you? There are a lot of good ones. But you are the one that wants to die. You want to die on the hill of the one that does not like you. The one that you met yesterday, the next day she's saying, my phone screen is bad. My rent is due. There's no woman that likes you, that will do that to you. So men need to be honest with themselves that
I want to ask, what is your definition of a high value man?
a high value man. A high value man is a
Yes.
man that still has ambition in him. He still has ambition. The day your ambition dies, you no longer dream. You no longer feel you can grow. Nothing. Also, a high value man is a man that can replicate his success. He has done it before. He can do it again. He might even run broke today, but he's not worried because he knows he will bounce back. He knows the formula to do it. He will do it again. This is not a fluke.
because he did it.
He did
Not
it before. He
fluke.
will do it again. Do you
Correct.
understand? High value man. Also, a high value man is somebody that knows his worth. You are a guy, you're already doing okay. Ah, at least in a month, 500 is entering. Do you understand? You're sorting one or two. You have a nice place you are staying, it's neat. You have a lot of things. You are doing okay for yourself. You know your worth. You know not allow somebody that is still collecting pocket money to come and start insulting you. You know that okay, this place I'm not valued here. Okay, beautiful girl, I like you, but I like myself more. I'm sorry, but we can't keep seeing each other. I don't like that you insult me all the time. Do you understand? So being able, even though you in your heart you have a lot of desire for the lady, you love her, or maybe you think you love her, you need to be able to walk away when your pride, your ego is being attacked, your dreams are being belittled. You must walk away.
Yes. If if you would give one advice to one mentor of yours that you will not see him again, but you want to tell him one thing, what is that one thing you say to him?
Ah,
To one mentee, one mentor, one mentee of yours that you are mentoring.
yes.
That's the last thing you say to him, but you will not talk
The
to him
last thing I'll
again.
say to him is that this one is
Yeah, I want it to be very, very key. That's what I'm asking. I want it to be the one thing you think will, if he gets it right, every other thing will follow.
well, I would say that you should go for it. That's it. Go for it. You see that word, go for it. It applies to everything. If you learn something today, apply it. Maybe it fails. Try again, apply another thing. Keep doing. Keep doing some. Keep trying. Do you understand? Even if he gets fired at his place of work, get another one. Do you understand?
Execute.
Execute. Don't. There's a picture that I have. The picture says that ships are safe in the harbor, but that is not what they are made for. Ships are supposed to sail in the water.
Yes,
Storm.
but it's
It's
dangerous
dangerous
there.
there. That's what they are made for. But if you keep it in the harbor, it's safe. If you take a picture yourself, it's fine. But the ship has to be in the
Yes,
in the rough seas, carrying load, going. So you have to keep doing. Yoruba language, they say "Aiduro nijo." It means if you are not standing, you are dancing. Keep doing. That's what I would say.
yes.
Because so many people they know it,
Or
but they are not doing.
or
They are
they're
not
not
executing nothing.
executing. They read 1,000 books, but they don't execute. You have 10 ideas. I have this idea, but you're not
If you
executing.
read one page, apply that one page that you read. In fact, I tell people when they want to read books, I say read one page a day. Just read one page. But you read more than one, that's the truth.
Correct, correct. It's been awesome talking to you. Shara, it's been awesome. I really enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
I normally ask a this or that question at the end of the
Okay.
show. I would like to ask you too.
Okay now.
Okay. Books or podcast?
Podcast.
Apple. Do you like Apple as a brand or Coca-Cola in terms of branding?
I would say Coca-Cola.
Fintech or edutech?
Ah, fintech now, no fintech. Fintech.
BMW or Benz?
Benz.
iPhone or Samsung?
Ah, iPhone. Easy one.
Eba or
Ah,
Amala?
Eba, 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 Eba. Eba. What do you mean?
Job. Job in the Bible.
Eh,
Job in the Bible or Moses?
ah, Job, 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 Job.
Okay. Paul or Samuel?
Paul. I pick Paul.
LinkedIn or Twitter?
Twitter. I do not like LinkedIn, by the way. I mean, I use it. I have it, but it's too pretentious. I hate.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, but why do you pick Job? You are the first guest that will pick Job. People always pick Moses. They don't like the life of Job. That's suffering.
Yeah, I'll pick Job because first Job was he was somebody that God was bragging with him. Do you understand? It's not in the record that God was bragging with anybody, but he was bragging with Job. That, have you seen my son? Ah, he's doing well. He's fantastic. Do you understand? He was bragging with him. So I believe he's one of the favorite of God. Also, he could replicate his success. He had it, he lost it, he had it again. Do
Yeah,
you understand?
I value
Exactly.
man.
So I like him.
Correct.
I like him.
Correct. Apple and Coca-Cola.
I think
That
Coca-Cola. Yeah. So I feel Apple appeals to sentiment. I want to be seen as this. Do you understand? I want to be. It appeals to the vain side of a
status.
person. Do you understand? It appeals to that. I want it done so easily. I want it done right. It's very modern. But when I look at Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola appeals to the emotion. Their brand is emotive. They connect with the spirit of the person or of the market they are selling. When I look at their campaigns, remember the bottle where you find your name on it, or you go to the store, you see for your friend Shegun, you buy for him and say Shegun take. Do you understand? It's emotive. It connects with the individual. So yeah, for me, I value that type of connection more than a vain or aesthetic connection.
Sure. Thank you so much, Seun Adeola. It's been awesome talking to you on POK experience. I want you to, what's your last, what will you say to everybody?
Thank you for inviting me. This is awesome. I had a good time. I also learned a lot. You learn by talking. When you say it, you learn by
Talking.
talking. So
Yes.
I learned a lot. You I think this is amazing. I We need more of this, more consistency, more people coming. I'm going to watch. I also want to learn from others. So yeah. So thank you for that. And parting words, I'll tell you, dear marketer, knowledge first, which is the science first, then the arts after. Don't do the arts before the science. Science first, arts after. There's a level you get to where anything you do is a strategy. Anything, including your mistake, is a strategy. There's a level because you have mastered it so much that you can bend it in any direction you want. Okay, this ad is not delivering. Do it like this. Change this parameter. Change this. Optimize that. What somebody else will spend overnight trying to figure out, you look at it like this and you have the answer. It comes from the mastery. So science before arts, it takes time. It's not overnight. You won't suddenly become so good because you took a master class or because you read a book. To know is not enough. You must apply. Finally, I wish you good luck because You are going to need a lot of it. That's all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.